Although Denmark does not have volcanic activity or hot springs, it does have certain geological advantages. Denmark is almost entirely covered by layers of sediments and sedimentary rock, particularly sandstone and shale, in other words, clay slate. Groundwater circulates fairly freely in the permeable sandstone that much of Denmark rests upon. This water holds heat well. In other words, water can store heat and is a good heat carrier.
My name is Søren Berg Lorentzen. I'm the Managing Director of Danish Geothermal District Heating, and today we're here at the Geothermal District Heating plant in Copenhagen, and I'm right next to the injection well. This well was drilled in 2002. It's 2,600 meters deep, a vertical well, and this is where we inject the geothermal brine back into the reservoir after we have taken the energy out of it and transferred it to the district heating network. We have a production well as well, of course, so we have two wells here at the plant.
Geothermal plants demand on one hand a big, thick wallet to launch projects, and on the other hand, massive patience to the return on investment.
But if you have that patience, then it will be very beneficial over the years, because you have a fixed price on the geothermal heat that you produce. Whereas if you are using biomass or coal or natural gas, you are vulnerable to fluctuations in the price of these fuels on the world market. First of all, it's water that's naturally in the reservoir that we are pumping up. So it's the reservoir is a sandstone layer that is approximately 240 million years old. It was deposited when Denmark is right where the Mediterranean is today. So it's an old desert actually, and the water that's in there is old seawater, and it's very saline, so it has a high content of salt. We pump it up from the production well, take the water, the energy out of it, and transfer that to the district heating network. And the cooled geothermal brine we then re-inject back into the same reservoir in order to keep up the pressure in the reservoir.
Thisted is in northwest Denmark, sandwiched between ocean beaches on the west and the large Limfjord to the east. The Danes have drilled deeply into the sandstone at Thisted.
The geothermal energy is located in sand layers buried deep in the ground. In our case, it's in 1,250 meters depth, and the water is in fact old seawater from millions of years ago, and this water have a temperature of 43 degrees, and we can then bring it to the surface. With a heat pump we extract the heat, and after that we inject the water with about 10 degrees. The heat can be extracted for many years. In our case, I think maybe 50 years before we have to make a new loop. So it's sustainable, and it's very green energy.
The future of geothermal energy can pretty much summed up with one single word: more. Geothermal power is often considered the fourth most important source of renewable energy behind solar, wind and hydro. Right now, it accounts for just a small portion of the world's power capacity, but analysts expect geothermal plants to begin proliferating around the globe at a rapid clip.
Geothermal energy for district heating production, at least, is possible in most parts of the world.
In Denmark, I think the geothermal energy will be the future for many towns. At the moment, there are some problems with the insurance of the wells, but when that is solved, for sure be many plants done in Denmark.
I think there was a study made some years ago showing that approximately 25% of the population of Europe lives in areas where it's possible where you have a combination of a favorable underground and a high heat density. That's mainly the bigger cities. So the perspectives are quite good for geothermal district heating, I think.